I'm Douglas White. I'm the Chief Executive of HSBC Insurance Brokers. I'm based in Hong Kong and I look after our operations in China and as well as China, 6 other countries in Asia.
And Mary?
My name is Mary Ma and I'm the Director of the HSBC Shanghai branches. Currently I look after the HSBC Insurance Brokers business in East and West China.
Doug, you've been in Hong Kong for 16 years.
That's right, yeah.
Describe how the city has changed in that time.
Well, it's forever changing. It's a very sort of dynamic place, as you're probably aware. I think when I first went there, it was a very exciting place to be, and of course it still is today. It hasn't hugely changed as a resident there. You know, despite the handover when it moved from being a British colony to coming back under Chinese rule, it really hasn't changed at all, to be honest. To the man on the street, really very little has changed.
In terms of your stock markets, there's been a great deal of activity.
Sure.
I mean, it's been extraordinary, the development, and we're very aware of companies here that are interested in entering Asian markets, and they
Yep.
like to do it through Hong Kong.
Through Hong Kong.
Are there any particular risks that they need to be aware of?
I don't think so much in terms of the Hong Kong, you know, listing in Hong Kong. That's something which is, you know, the regulatory framework and the whole exchange there is very well established and is a very mature market. So the risks involved with that are really pretty minimal, I think.
Do you work with a lot of companies that are coming in from all over the world?
We do, yes, from Europe and from the States and also from other countries around Asia as well. As you know, I mean, there's so much investment coming into Asia at the moment that yeah, we're riding that wave.
Are there any missteps that you've seen that should have been avoided, or that you can now provide some advice to guard against? Yeah,
I think in terms of Hong Kong, it's pretty straightforward. I think China's a very different situation, and I think one of the things that a lot of people really need to understand is that it takes a very long time to build up relationships there, and that's very important. And you know, it's not, you can't move in necessarily as quickly as you want to. So there's a great deal of patience required.
Is part of your role to introduce people?
We do. We you know, if someone's, you know, new to China and they're looking for help, then yeah, we'll try and introduce them to law firms or accountancy firms, people that you know how the system works up there. Certainly.
How about in terms of barriers to entry? Are you aware of any that can cause a problem?
There are in different industries. I mean, for example, in the financial services side, and obviously we're very familiar with that. I mean, there are restrictions in terms of what you can do as a foreign investor there, and it varies from industry to industry. But so there are regulatory restrictions. Despite their entry to WTO, there are still restrictions in place. So yeah, there are some barriers there.
Hong Kong is a good base to go to China on the mainland, but also elsewhere in Asia.
Sure.
Where do you recommend that companies look?
Well, I think it probably depends a little bit on exactly what they're looking to do. There's a lot of investment flowing in now to Vietnam, and that's partly because I think the costs within China in terms of manufacturing have increased quite a lot over the last 10 years or so. And Vietnam has perhaps come in as an area which is still slightly cheaper than many parts of China, and they've done a lot to attract foreign investment as well. So there's a lot of manufacturing moving into Vietnam.
Does HSBC have a number of offices in Vietnam?
We have 2 people currently. We're waiting to get our license in Vietnam. We've got 2 people, one in Ho Chi Minh City and one up in Hanoi, and we've got a number of people that will be joining us just as soon as the license comes through.
Do you think that doing business for foreign company such as one from Georgia, doing business in Vietnam is extremely different than doing it in China?
I think there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of similarities between the two. I think perhaps the difference with Vietnam, of course, is they've had a long history with France, and whereas China's still very much, you know, in a different situation. So the laws are different. The laws are very different. The culture is very different. But I mean, Vietnam is very attractive for a number of reasons.
Mary, how big is HSBC's presence in Shanghai, where you're based?
Actually, we set up our head office in Beijing in 2003, and in 2005 we set up the Shanghai and Guangzhou branch. But having said that, we are already the first joint venture insurance broking firm came to China. Currently, we have 18 staff in Shanghai branch. Yeah.
Could you give us an example of some of your clients?
We are quite good in the real estate, the hotel industry, yeah, and the high-tech industry, yeah.
I understand that Beijing, for the Olympics, had hundreds of new hotels that were built. Shanghai's been growing very quickly as well. Yeah. The hotel industry is very active?
Yes, very active, yeah.
What kind of insurance do you provide for the hotels?
Actually, it's the full line of the insurance products, from the property to casualty and the employee benefits, yeah, motor insurance, everything, yeah.
Is the employment benefit area relatively new in China?
Yes, it's quite new to China, yeah. But especially in recent years, and when the new labor laws came into effect, and there's more demands on the employment benefits, yeah.
And that law is developing all the time. There are new regulations that are coming down. Do they come through the courts, or do they come from the government itself?
The law is come from the government, yeah.
It's coming through from the government.
Yes, yeah.
How does the bank and the government work together?
I think at a high level within the bank, they do have a dialogue with the government in terms of how to develop the markets and to move them forward. Right. And I think I'm sure they have with a number of international institutions as well. But
great. What are the benefits of being an Assurex global partner?
For us, and we have the networks to approach the modern insurance industry all over the world, because compared with China, the States or the Europe, in respect of insurance, they are much more advanced compared with China. Yeah, so we can learn many techniques, we can understand what is going on in the world. And for the overseas partners, for example, the States partners, they have clients investing in China, but they don't know exactly what's going on in the China market, what's the current law, regulations. So we can help those States partners or other partners anywhere in the world to look after their clients in China, yeah, to provide their professional advice and what to do.
Doug, how often do these Assurex reunions take place? Is it annually, or?
There are a number of meetings. There are two main meetings every year, and then a number of smaller meetings on more specialist areas during the course of each year. Right. So, and also each of the regions. There are 4 regions, including obviously Asia. They have their own meetings as well. So there's a lot of events that bring the network close together.